Some echoes linger, others fade, but the most stubborn ones, they live in the choice we repeat. This is the echo between worlds, a quiet love story told across the city that remembers everything, told in pieces, in footsteps, in the pauses between names. It began with Ellie, the one who stayed, the one who carried silence in every room. Then we heard Mateos, the one who left, lighter, freer, but still looking back. They shared no reunion, only a memory that drifted through doors, over water, under windows left ajar. In the final moment of part 6, Mateos passed by, a silhouette, a second too late. Ellie never saw him, and maybe that was the point. Because this isn't a story of return. This is the final echo. The one where Ellie no longer walks in memory's shadow, where he doesn't whisper the name that used to stop his breath, where the cup, the candle, the bed are just objects again. And Lisbon still remembers, but this time, Ellie chose not to echo. Today, the pattern didn't repeat. This is the echo between worlds, part 7. The square didn't echo back. I passed through the square this morning. Didn't plan to. Didn't avoid it either. The light was already warm on the stone. Those black and white patterns curling beneath my steps. Lines I used to think were traps. Circles that always pull me back to the same questions. Where did you go? Why didn't I follow? What would have happened if I had? But today, the pattern didn't repeat. It was just pavement, just stone warmed by the sun. People passed around me, couples, an old man with a dog, someone carrying coffee. No one saw me, and for once I didn't feel the need to be seen. I used to come here with hope, as if the city would return something I lost, as if every tile, every shadow might echo your name back to me if I stood still long enough. But now I stood in the middle of the square, and it was quiet. No memory in the corners, no voice in the wind, just Lisbon being Lisbon. I thought about sitting, about letting the light soak in, but I didn't need to linger. The silence wasn't asking me to stay anymore. It was still trying to teach me something. It was just silence, and I was just walking through it. I didn't leave with grief. I didn't leave with answers. I left with nothing in my hands, and that felt like freedom. I didn't plan where to go after the square. I just walked. No headphones, no list, no need to make it mean anything. The streets used to trick me. Every turn felt like a loop. Like if I walked the same path enough times, you might round the corner again, laughing, distracted, not knowing I was waiting. But today, the city didn't pull. The street we used to take to the bookstore, I passed it, didn't pause, didn't look for your reflection in the glass. The alley near the cafe where you used to stand, just to feel the sun hit your face. I kept walking. Not to prove anything, not out of avoidance, just because I didn't need to go back. There's a rhythm to Lisbon, a beat in the stones, in the sway of laundry from open balconies, in the scent of bread and salt on the breeze. I used to think the city was singing your name. Today it just hummed, and I let it. Some streets still remember us, but they don't belong to us, not anymore. And I think I finally stopped asking them to. I stepped into the lift slowly. Metal gates closed with a sound that used to make me flinch. But today, I only heard the rhythm of motion, upward. As the elevator climbed, Lisbon unfolded beneath me. First the patterned stones, then the rooftops, then the layers of city stitched into hills and memory. I watched the woman adjust her laundry line. A boy kicked a ball into a narrow alley. Someone opened the shutter to the sky. So ordinary, so alive. I used to feel like a ghost among these streets, always passing through, always afraid I'd be seen, or wouldn't. But now I stood still. Halfway up, my reflection flickered in the glass, and I didn't look away this time. There was a version of me, hoping someone would call out my name. But he's not here. I kept rising. I let the ache stay with me, but I didn't let it stop me. And as the doors opened, and the city met my eyes again, I understood something. I had finally outgrown the silence. I didn't expect the quiet to be this full. Up here, the wind finds you first. It brushes past my collar, slips through my fingers as I hold the railing. Like a pulse, light but alive. Lisbon spreads beneath me like a map I no longer need to read. Red roofs, faded blue tiles, a line of light where the river bends. And far in the distance, a sound. Fado maybe, or just memory and song. I used to wonder if Mateos ever stood here, if he ever looked out at the same sky and thought of me. I guess I'll never know. But today, that absence doesn't ache like it used to. It's just part of the city now, like the rusted corners of this rail, like the names carved into wood and metal. People who pass through, hoping to be remembered. I'm not here for that. I'm here to listen. The wind, the light, my own breath, steady for once. For a long time, I thought healing would feel like a door slamming shut, but it doesn't. It feels like air. I asked for a quiet table, and they gave me this. By the wall, under the warm flicker of an old bulb, close enough to hear the music, but far enough to stay unnoticed. Fado fills the room like candlelight, low, aching, honest. There's a red wine in my glass, a half-full one across from it. I've never been to this place before, but it doesn't feel unfamiliar. Maybe because Lisbon finally doesn't scare me. Maybe because tonight, I'm not waiting for a ghost to walk in. He was introduced by a friend, said he'd be passing through the city. We don't know what this is, or if it will be anything, but he smiled when I said yes to wine. He stepped away for a moment. I stayed seated. I don't check my phone. I just let myself be here. The sound of strings and sorrow, a candle between us, and the quiet relief of not searching anymore. This was The Echo Between Worlds, Part 7. The square didn't echo back. Ellie's final chapter. He came to Lisbon chasing what he lost, but the echoes were never about the past. They were fragments of himself, the pieces he hadn't dared gather, until now. He walked the patterned pavements, paused at the lift that once terrified him, stood on a deck where silence didn't answer back, and finally, he sat in the quiet bar, with the hum of Fado and the steady warmth of his own breath. Tonight he sit in a place where sorrow used to follow, but it doesn't anymore. Just the sound of Fado, a half glass of wine, and someone new, a quiet connection made through a friend. We don't know where it will go, and that's okay, because what matters is he showed up. And maybe this time, the pattern won't repeat. Next time, we'll hear the final echo from Mateos. Subscribe, like, and follow to hear how it ends. You've come this far. Don't miss the last echo. Thank you.